National Football League picks. Indianapolis is a 4.5-point underdog at New England. Now, we all know if New England didn't go in that deep bag of deception, the deep-ass bag of deception, you know the bag when they panic? We know if they didn't go in that deep-ass bag of deception, they would have been routed by probably 21 against the Ravens because they were on the way to being routed. They were 3-and-out every fucking time until they went in that deep bag of deception, which no one in the NFL ever seen. Well, I'm sure Chuck Pagano, the beast, Pagano, who maybe someone should have took a little bit of advice from him on how to beat a certain thing, because Chuck Pagano's a fucking beast. And yes, black people can be racist, but Chuck Pagano will be ready for it. Jim Harbaugh never seen it. No one in the NFL has ever seen it. It will be in Chuck Pagano's bag right now. He'll see it. That being said, I would not think the Indianapolis Colts can go in the Gillette Stadium. I would not think they'd be able to go into Gillette Stadium and win this game. I wouldn't think so. I would think the Patriots would destroy them and maul them. That's what I would think. However, there's a certain thing called playing playoff football. And that's what this Indianapolis Colts team is. Look, the New England Patriots came back with a deception and won last week. They did. But prior to that deception bag, they were getting destroyed. Take that out of the equation. I still have a hard time picking this game because I want the Colts to win. I really do. But my heart tells me the Patriots are going to beat them. But then again, Andrew Luck, it's a different ball game. He's beaten Peyton Manning, even though Peyton Manning's the biggest joke of an NFL quarterback ever. He's beaten him. 4.5 points with the line. I think it will be a close game. I think it'll be a close game. I think the Colts, if you look at this game from a roster standpoint, whether it's Tom Brady and the Patriots operate offensively against the Colts defense, and the way that the Colts really don't have the offensive weapons that Tom Brady has, you got to wonder, how can they keep up? How can they keep up? Well, DeQuell Jackson, the ex-Brown's going to have to figure out a way to stop Tom Brady. And I think he will. I think it's going to be a shocker. But we all know after the bag of deception the Patriots pulled, who knows, they probably got more up their arsenal, because Belichick is a cheating motherfucker, but he's a genius. But like I said, the last 10 years, they ain't done a motherfucking thing. That being said, I'm going to pick the Indianapolis Colts here with 4.5 points. And I'm also going to pick them to win the game outright. That being said, I kind of want to see New England win, because I'd like to see New England go against Seattle in the Super Bowl, or Green Bay. I would like to see that. Personally, if Indianapolis does win, I'm sure it's going to provide to be a good game in the Super Bowl nonetheless, but I'd love to see New England play Green Bay. I think I'd love to see New England play Seattle, first of all. I want to see how they match up against that Seattle defense. I would really love to see that. And against Green Bay, it'd be great. I think Indianapolis versus any of the other two people or any of the other two teams are not as good as Super Bowl. So I'm going to pick Indianapolis, but I'm picking them to win. I want them to win, but I think they'll cover the point spread at least. They probably won't win the game outright. That's my pick. The other game, Seattle's giving Green Bay 7.5 points at Seattle, which is a tough place to play, especially in the playoffs, especially in the regular season, but in the playoffs even more tougher. Aaron Rodgers has an arsenal of weapons. He has a running game. Seahawks have a great defense, one of the greatest defense ever. It's tough to play there. Russell Wilson, not even comparable to Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what anyone says. Russell Wilson's nowhere near comparable to Aaron Rodgers or what he does. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback I've ever seen. Better than Brady, better than Elway. I used to think Elway was the greatest quarterback ever, because Elway was, even after Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is now. He can do it all. Aaron Rodgers is a little bit beat up, a little bit banged up. If this game was at Green Bay, I would definitely take the Packers, because Aaron Rodgers is a different quarterback at home. But it's at Seattle. And I don't see any way Green Bay can win this game at Seattle. I just don't see it. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't hurt, I think he may be able to pull it out. Now, that leads me to the question, could Aaron Rodgers take some pain? I know pain pills, but could he get shot with pain medicine? Take away that pain so he could run. I mean, what the fuck? But would he be useless? Whatever. The bottom line is, I am picking in this game the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm taking the Green Bay Packers with the points. I believe 7.5 points in a playoff game is too much to give Aaron Rodgers. With the points, I think Green Bay's a lock. I think you're looking at the game like 35-33. Whoever has the ball last will win the game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, 35. I know people saying, how the fuck is it going to be high-scoring against the Seattle defense? Look, I understand this. I just have that feeling. I think the weather's not going to be a factor. I just have a feeling that the Green Bay is going to be able to score when they want. I think Seattle's going to be able to do the same thing. It's going to be a high-scoring game, Green Bay with the points. Getting on to the Super Bowl. whoever matchup it is. I noticed the funny thing about this. So yeah, I like Green Bay with the points, but I think I like Seattle to win the game. I noticed the funny thing about this. Let me find the motherfucker. Why can't I find out? Oh, I found it. I was about to go off. I noticed a funny, integral thing about the point spreads coming up here, and I will share them with you at this juncture. Coming up, here's the interesting thing about this thing. The odds makers have Seattle a 3-point favorite against New England in the Super Bowl, and a 7-point favorite against Indianapolis. That's interesting to me. That's interesting to me. They only have a 4-point, the 7-point favorite against Indianapolis. That's interesting. I would think it would be much more. New England now is a 2-point favorite against Green Bay, which I find very interesting because I think Green Bay should be the 2-point favorite, to be honest with you. I think New England was exposed last week. And I see Green Bay a 3-point favorite against Indianapolis, which I find about right. About right. So that's your picks. Like I said, it's gonna be a good Sunday. Let's put it that way. It's gonna be a great Sunday. I kind of wish the Patriots game was earlier in the first game. I think it's the second game. I'd like to see what happens with the Patriots game before I see the Seattle game. That dictates what I want to win. As of right now, I think I want the Seahawks to win. And even though I'm not a Seahawks fan, I think I want them to win. And then maybe if they do win, I'll become a Seahawks fan. I'll become a front runner because that's what I do. That's what everyone else does in this league. So I'll do the same thing, and every fan has that right to do. And if I have the right to do it, everybody has the right to do. So if you want to be a front runner, you can't be a front runner. I know more about the Seattle Seahawks, obviously, than most Seahawks fans, to tell you the truth. I can name everybody on the team, and I don't even watch them. I just do that. I guarantee you I can name more players on the Seahawks team than a motherfucking Seahawks fan on Twitter or on fucking YouTube. I guarantee you. That's just what I do. I know things. The average fans don't know. I know everything about the game of football. I played the game of football at a high level. I was a defensive end linebacker, one of the greatest players in the goddamn history of Syracuse College. That's what I was. I would have been in the National Football League, but I had some mental illness problems, some drinking and alcohol-related problems, maybe some, other problems, but I would have been in the National Football League. I would have been in the New York Jets. I would have been a first-round pick. I would have been a high draft pick. I'd probably been worth millions of dollars right now. That's what I would have been. So you're going to have to accept what I tell you is the truth. And if you don't, somehow or the other, I will make you believe that you're dancing. Because, see, that's what I do. I make videos on people, right? I make them dance. That's what I do. I make Patriot fans dance last week because they know I'm right. But even if I wasn't right, I make them question why they're dancing. I even tell them they're going to dance, and guess what? They do. This video here, I'm sure some Patriots fans will be dancing. I'm sure they will. And they have every reason to, because I'm that fucking good. Make no mistake about it. I can wear this hat anywhere I want. And there's nothing you die-hard, true blue Patriot fans can do about it. I have just as much right to root for your team as you do. I have just as much right, and I can say that I've been a long-time fan, not a front-runner. And no one will know the difference. It's the right I have as a National Football League fan. It's the right I have. I'm not dumb enough to have a fucking tattoo on my body of a football team. So no one knows who I really like. Bottom line is, this hat, me wearing it, makes you dance. All right, number the picks.